How do you activate the French defense light-squared bishop? Imagine you're setting up a solid defense in chess and want your light-squared bishop to be more than just a passive piece. The French defense begins with the moves 1e for and 1e6, which can sometimes leave your bishop on c8 a bit stuck. So, how do you get that bishop moving and active? Well, the key is in your pawn structure and your piece development. First, you want to develop your pawn to d5 early on, challenging white's center. This move also blocks your bishop from coming out naturally on c8. To activate the bishop, you can plan to move your pawn from d7 to d5 and then develop your bishop to d7. From there, you can maneuver it to e8 and then to g6 or h5, depending on how the game unfolds. Moving the bishop to g6 is especially common because it puts pressure on white's kingside and helps control key squares. Another way to activate the bishop is by playing f6 at the right moment. This move opens up the diagonal for your bishop to jump to g6 or h5, giving it more influence on the board. Timing is important here because playing f6 too early might weaken your pawn structure, but if timed well, it can be very effective. Sometimes, black chooses to exchange the light-squared bishop early in the game, especially in the advance variation. This involves moves like a 6 or b6 to prepare for the exchange, which can simplify the position and reduce white's control over important diagonals. Exchanging the bishop can also help you focus on other strategic goals, like pressuring white's central pawns or preparing counterattacks. To do this, you might develop your pawn to b6 or a 6, then exchange on b5 or a4, respectively. Remember, whether you choose to activate or exchange the bishop, your goal is to create more options for your pieces and challenge white's control of the center. Developing your light-squared bishop effectively in the French defense is a balancing act. Sometimes you want it active on g6 or h5, and other times you prefer to exchange it for white's bishop to simplify the position. Keep an eye on your pawn structure and timing your moves well, and you'll find ways to make that bishop a real force on the board.